This is Chris Kelly with just a few additional tips on progressing the deadlifting movement. Whenever we ask somebody to pick something up in the gym for the first time, what I'm often going to see is something like this. All right, somebody, you just ask them to deadlift, you're going to bend over and pick something up. All right, that's exactly what we don't want to see. We want to teach someone to use what is called the hip hinge, so sticking their butt out, immediately initiating that hip extension. In order to do so, we're either going to use our hands or a stick, which I'm going to incorporate in a minute, to just slide kind of down the hips like that. All right, what that's doing, I tell people, pretend like you're going through a bad dance move. Okay, what that's doing is teaching them immediately to sit back on their heels, to shift their weight into kind of the butt here, and really just to sit back and get into this kind of position to pick something up. All right, once they're comfortable with that, once they've practiced a couple times, in order to teach this, we're going to utilize a dowel rod. Okay, I've got a kettlebell here, but really you can utilize, a bag or anything with a handle. What I'm doing is I'm putting this dowel rod on my back. All right, what I'm asking the client to do is keep this in contact with your back. Okay, because what this is going to help us to do is keep the point of contact necessary to teach proper back position during the deadlift. Okay, you'll notice that I've elevated the kettlebell on a couple carpet squares. All right, if the person goes down too far, what's going to start to happen is they're going to round off. Okay, so all we do, we take a couple carpet squares or something that we can stack it up on. And as they become more proficient in movement, we're just going to remove a couple until we get them to the floor. All right, now from a one arm deadlift, that's a really good way to teach a deadlift, simply because the person is going to have a little bit more room to utilize this here. They're coming up and down. Moving off the stick would be the next progression. All right, then we would move to what's called a sumo deadlift with the dumbbell. With this, we're getting into more of a conventional deadlifting stance. I'm going to ask the person to stand with the dumbbell right between their feet, so they're forced to sit back on their heels and stand up straight. Again, the main thing, the first thing you want them to do, hands on the hips here, or hands on the front of the legs, slide down, stand straight up. Okay, from there we're going to progress into what's called a rack pull. Okay, so I don't have a barbell here, but utilizing the dowel rod, what we want to teach here is just keeping the dowel rod or the bar as close to the knees as possible as we slide down, and then bringing everything up together, standing straight up, and really just minimizing the torque. The farther away the bar gets from the body, the more they're going to be forced to round the back. So kind of summarizing those cues. Keeping the weight as close to your knees as possible, really sitting back on the heels and sticking the butt out, hinging from the hips and standing straight up. Really squeezing the butt cheeks as we come up and kind of just practicing it, and then loading the bar, and that's the deadlifting movement.